Go. Good morning. Oh, it didn't record. Oh, it's not recording. Oh, there we go. Good morning. My name is Bobby. I'm calling from, excuse me. We're here from California Curb Appeal in San Bernardino, California. California Curb Appeal is a boutique brokerage, but we're able to offer some really great commission plans, and we have a unique sort of group of people. And we work as a team. We work together. So if that's something you're looking for, definitely get in touch. So anyway, every Wednesday we have a training called Level Up Training, and or excuse me, Level Up Wednesdays. And today I'm going to be talking about how do we know as agents how to decipher which opportunities are going to be good for our career and which ones we're going to be doing that will just be spinning our wheels and wasting our time and not really benefiting from at all. It's a little bit difficult to tell sometimes. People come to us all the time and say, if you do this for me at a discount, I'm going to be sure and tell all my friends, or you'll get so much experience out of this. And I think sometimes people say that because they just want to get a deal. And the bottom line is there's nobody that's going to take care of you besides you. So you need to develop those skills to be able to decipher, is this going to be a good opportunity for me, or is this going to be something that I'm just going to be wasting a lot of time and I'm not going to get a whole lot out of? So the first thing I want you to think about when opportunities knock is where did this opportunity come from? Is this something that you came up with, or did somebody come to you and say, hey, I'd like you to do this for me? So that's going to be the big determinant right there. If somebody's coming to you, asking you to do something for them, then more than likely the motivation there is going to be something that they want you to do for them. And they're going to ask you to do it for the very cheapest price that they think that you'll do it for. Or they're just going to ask for a discount or, something like that. If that's the case, if they're coming to you, that's a big red flag. I would tread very carefully in those situations. Now, it depends on what they're asking for too. So the second thing is, what are they asking you to do? Are they asking you to list their home? Are they asking you to take them to look at homes? So that kind of falls in line into your expertise, right? That's exactly the type of job that you are doing. That's your career. You are buying and selling and representing buyers and sellers to do some sort of transaction. So if it's a person coming to you and they want you to list their house, well, then have a listing appointment. Go see the property. Find out from them how much they want to get out of the property. Is it reasonable? Is it not reasonable? I would say go through that process. Absolutely. Now, there's going to come a point in the conversation where, and this is 99% of people, they're going to ask you, do you think you could give me a break on the commission? Do you think you could do it for 4%? Or they'll probably start a little bit lower than what they're willing to pay you. I had a client come in here and ask me to do it for 3% or 2.5%, something like that. And quite honestly, I have an amount in my head. I know before even walking into that room how much I have to make in order for it to be worth my time. So on the smaller transactions, of course, you're going to be a little bit more firm about a bottom line price because we're working with percentages here. On a lower priced property, if you charge 6%, a lot of times you're not making what you need to break even, or you want to make a little profit. Of course, everybody does. So have those calculations in your mind prior to sitting down with that person. Know what you have to make on this transaction for it to be worth your while. We don't work for free. I think a lot of people have an idea of what we make, but they don't. I don't think a lot of people really understand the amount of work that really goes into being a real estate agent and representing another individual in this process. The process is long. That's not only hard hours, you're using your expertise, but there's a lot of them. So keep that in mind. I would challenge you to do this as well. When you do your next transaction, whether it's with a buyer or a seller, keep track of just exactly how many hours you're spending on this transaction and know for an average transaction how many hours you're going to be spending. And then if there are any difficulties or any unusual circumstances with this transaction, be sure and add some hours to accommodate that. If we're having to wait for probate, or there's something unique or unusual about the property that is going to require a different kind of inspection, or anything like that, you want to be sure and add those hours. So know going in how much you need to charge for it to be a worthwhile job for you. Okay, so when you're in there, you're negotiating, they're asking the question, would you do it for less? Those are oftentimes some of the worst conversations because, maybe it's been a while since we had a transaction. Maybe we're in a market that's just not got a lot going on, and we get kind of anxious to get into that next escrow. So do not let those things sway you in any way. Please keep firm on what you need to be able to do this job. And here's some things that you can say to counter those requests. One of my favorites is when they ask for a discount, I would say something like, you're hiring me to negotiate. And I I think what you're looking for is somebody who's going to be tough and not easily roll over and give them everything they want. So, as a demonstration of that, I'm going to have to hold firm on the rate that I am going to charge you. So that put it in your own words. But basically, what you're saying is, you're hiring me to negotiate. If you want somebody who's going to just, you know, easily go for the first pushback that you're given, then how good of a negotiator are you? Do you want me to act that way when the buyer is saying, sell it to me for less? Am I going to come to you and say, hey, the buyer wants it for less? I told him, well, you can't really say that, but you understand what I'm saying. You want a tough negotiator. If you want a tough negotiator, then that probably will cost you a little bit more than a negotiator who is not so tough. Another thing you could say is, oh, there's a few of them. You can always, cite policy. It's my policy that I charge this amount for this type of transaction in this price point. Go back to something like that. But any way you say it, the bottom line is that you're making it clear that you have to have a certain amount in order to do the job. And if you're not going to get that amount, then you can't do the job. It's they're asking you to do a certain amount of work for free in essence. So be tough, let them know you can't, you can't accept the less than this amount. So once you're past that, then if they match your amount, then you're good to go. Everything's fine. It's totally worth your time. You've asked for the amount of money you need to get, and they've given it to you. Get the paper signed and go market the property. If they do not agree with your minimum, what you need to get in order to do this job, let them go. Please let them go. 9 times out of 10, they'll be back. That's exactly what happened in my case. I told them, I'm sorry, there's no way I can do it for that amount because of the way that this works. You are paying for the full commission. However, I have to use part of that money to contract the other party. I need to pay the agent that's representing the buyer. I need to pay them for their time. So, and let me just stop there for a moment. We have a big court case going on right now about that very subject, saying that it's not fair to ask the seller to pay for the buyer's commission. That court case just had a momentous milestone yesterday in that the National Association of Realtors was found to be liable for that rule, the rule or the unfair situation that happened. So they're going to appeal it, and we'll probably won't see any kind of real decisions coming from that for a couple of years, probably. But anyway, that's where that's at. Just know that the industry is going through some changes, and just be ready when those changes come. Anyway, backing it up. Where was I? You got your price. Okay, so I was very firm because this person was asking me to do the job for 2.5%, 3%, something like that. When I explained to him, I need to offer the other side a certain amount. Otherwise, it's likely that nobody will show your property. I can show it, of course, but you'll get a lot more visibility out there if you offer kind of the market average. And you need to be sure and let every client know that there is no law, there is no statute, there is no nothing that says that the commission price is set by anyone, that it is a negotiable price. Having said that, it's negotiable. However, for you, it either is feasible or it is not feasible. That's not to say for the next guy down the road, it's not feasible. So that client can certainly go from agent to agent to agent to agent to try and find somebody who can do it for that price. But to be responsible to yourself and to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, you need to know exactly what you need to make in order for you not to be working for free. Okay. But yeah, be sure and let that be known in your conversation that the commission amount is not set by anyone or any agency, that it is completely negotiable. Okay. So 9 times out of 10, in my case, he did come back. He met my price, and we're now in escrow right now. So there's nothing wrong with standing firm and letting people know your worth. I mean, you're the only one who can do that. There's nobody else that's going to say, you are worth more than that. I mean, maybe your parents or, your loved ones will say that. But at the end of the day, you are the one who is setting your value to the world. And you do that in many different ways. You do that verbally. You do that with nonverbal communication. You do that with what you'll accept from people. You do that in many, many different ways. So I think what real estate did for me personally is it really helped me to do those deep dives into who I am, and really work on some things that I had never had an opportunity to work on before. I had a 9 to 5 job. I just went to work, did my job, came home. There was never any reason to do any of that inside work. So when I got into the real estate industry, it forced me to do some of that inside work and to really decide, well, what is my worth? And how am I communicating that? And how can I turn that around if I don't like it? And, a lot of questions. I was terribly, terribly, painfully shy most of my life. And when I got into real estate, I really had to work on that as well. And actually, it was a delightful journey. It's been a delightful journey ever since. I've not ever had a time that I didn't have a client when I wanted a client. And that is also something that you will learn as a result of this industry. Anyway, so the topic today was, how do you know whether the things you're doing are worth your while, or not, and whether they're building your book of business, your experience, or whether you're just spinning your wheels, wasting your time. So the first one was, did they come to you or are you going to them? If they came to you, look at it very critically. If they came to you because they want to buy or sell, then that's probably legitimate. When you're negotiating the price, make sure you negotiate wisely. Make sure you're getting what you need to do that transaction. Okay. Now, third thing, if they're coming to you, they have a no, if they didn't come to you, what are some ways that you can on purpose do some activities that are going to increase your experience and your knowledge and work on some of those things you need to work on? There are so many things that you can do. Which ones are going to be more beneficial than others? I would say look at the opportunity and see how many different skills that you're going to be learning that you don't already know how to do. I would say the more of those, then the more valuable the experience. If it's holding an open house for somebody, but all you're going to do is show up and babysit the house for 2 hours. Are you building any skills there? You already know how to drive. You already know how to unlock a door. You already know how to sit and turn on lights. If that experience is not going to build any skills for you, then the answer should be a big fat no. No, I'm not going to do that. That is worthless to me. Now, there's another side to that. If you're doing an open house, you may get leads, So, how can you make that experience more valuable? Well, you can add things to it. What do I want to get out of this? Maybe I want to get leads. They're never bad to get. Maybe I want to get some experience with marketing. Maybe I want to get some experience with, or get some branding done. Maybe I want to get some experience doing some creative work, maybe some internet marketing and some physical marketing. So develop that opportunity so that you're adding things in that are experiences or skills that you don't already have. Stretch yourself. Do not settle for the status quo. If somebody says, "Hey, we have this open house opportunity. Is anyone interested?" Then create that opportunity that so it's going to be beneficial to you. Don't just take it as is, because you're not a babysitter. You are much more than that. You have so much to offer. And if it's maybe you know how to create a nice flyer, but you don't have a lot of experience doing it, maybe you want to practice a little bit. Maybe you have gone door to door and invited the community to an open house, but maybe you want to develop those skills more, get more comfortable doing it, then by all means add that. Maybe you know how to make a post on social media, but you've never done like a campaign. And so you want to learn how to do that. Maybe have a clickable link where you can capture their contact information and contact them back later and see if are you looking to buy? Obviously, if they are interested in your social media post about the open house, then they're probably interested in buying. So, not, to create the opportunities for you that are going to be valuable. Um, there's, the open house. There are so many. Networking. I don't know anyone that cannot benefit from doing some networking. So find those opportunities where people are gathering for one reason or another. It doesn't have to be real estate related. Maybe it's a chamber of commerce meeting. I always recommend that every single real estate agent become a member of some group and ideally serve on the board of some group where your expertise is going to add to the value of that board. I mean, so many, I was invited to be on the board of Habitat for Humanity. Why? Because I know real estate. They wanted somebody on the board who is going to give them that expertise. Do things that build your confidence. I mean, that just being invited was such an ego boost. Like, you know what? I do have some skills, and some people are wanting that. And what a wonderful feeling that was. So, when opportunities come, be in control of them. I guess that's the bottom line. Be in control of those opportunities because opportunities will come to you all the time. If somebody asks you to open a door for an appraiser, is that going to do anything for you? However, look at it from start to finish. If you do this, is it going to um, build some goodwill between you and another agent? If you're stuck sometime, are you going to be able to depend on that agent to kind of help you out later on down the road? So look at the situation and really, even if you have to like build a little pros and cons, uh, you know, on paper, just put pros over here, cons over here, put a line through the middle, and just write what are the pros? What am I going to get out of this? What are the cons? What is it going to cost me? And then on the bottom, add what can I do with this opportunity that's going to make it an even greater opportunity for me to learn and grow and gain experience because that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Also, one other thing before we close out, I wanted to share this. If you want some specialized experience or training, maybe you do have an opportunity to do an open house and you want to do an online campaign. Maybe you want to do an online campaign with a contest or something like that, so you can gain followers and gain interest and attention on online, so you can build your online presence. If you need help with that, there are people that would love to help you. They are people that are very, very smart about these things that can kind of guide you through it. Please ask for help. You know, that's another way to build relationships too, is to reach out. People are willing to help you. You just need to ask for it. We have resources in the office here, but there are also resources online. There's people that will help you for nothing or for very little, but that's our human nature. We're helpers by nature. So if you reach out to a stranger that can possibly help you, you are creating a connection, a possible relationship with someone else, and someone that you know can maybe guide you in the future, maybe be a mentor in that area. So, just I would say, as a takeaway, treat every opportunity as what it could be, not what it is on face value. Okay? All right. Do we have any questions today? Okay. Well, I want you all to have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.